qualifying one, trying to get through to Q2 at this qualifying for the Malaysian Grand Prix.
Are some very fast runners that are in this qualifying one. Only 2 will go through to join the 10 that are already up there ready to meet them. Joan Mir and Joan Zarco, teammates to this man Crutchlow at LCR, so there's a bit of a conundrum. Main man was beaten to qualifying 2 by the incoming Frenchman. It's a bit of clout out of this, but there's quite a lot still to focus on in this end of season.
Oh, yeah.
A couple out there. Is there a £1 million bonus or £1 million bonus for the first Petronas bike to win a MotoGP? Renzo going, and what's Andrea Iannone up to as well, because he might even be going quick. We just looked at him, sat back.
And Joan Mir, I think Mir's on
fire.
Best result of.
My only worry is for both of those men. We're looking at one of them, the 2 Espargaro brothers, who are
been miles off this weekend. KTM's have been miles off. I read his debrief notes, and he was basically saying stuff. No, it wasn't great there, was it?
No, I seem to remember KTM weren't really. They were struggling to get to where they needed to get to there as well. He's another man that likes somebody to aim at, and this is a track for that. This is Joan Mir. He has improved massively. His brother Aleix is 2 bikes up the road. There he is, 41, Aleix Espargaro.
Maybe not.
Petrucci again. Petrucci just looked uncomfortable this weekend.
He looks sat awkwardly on it, hanging off it. He does sit a little bit central, but he looks like he's sitting more central than normal.
Look at Mir.
Wow.
He is in pretty impressive stuff.
Perfectly.
But you can only do that on a motorbike that lets you. Remember what they used to say about him in Moto3? They'd never seen anything quite like it, the way he rides a motorbike, how he got to ride a motorbike. Joan Mir on the 36 machine. A rookie, remember, always worth pointing it out. 9, tricky corner, dead stop, first gear, uphill, almost turns back on itself.
Really, because he's got the pace. Coming off that podium in Phillip Island, he needs to get through to qualifying 2.
Well, it's double. If suddenly Zarco's got in front of Cal Crutchlow as well, up into qualifying 2, which is where he is at the moment. Zarco's already 59.7, 58.9, 58.5, the fastest ever lap around here, done by Callio. Up to 4th, mind you, he's only 4 times on the board at the moment, sorry about that. Petrucci, uncomfortable. Cal Crutchlow, 8th.
Yeah, obviously doing. That was weird then. Let's look off the tyre. Watch him again, see if he slides at this point.
Yes.
Get ready. Oh, it's not quite as much.
That's a great feeling though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pushing forward, and it's not...
you sort of don't want it to spin too much, because then
you want it to dig in and fire
time.
you forward. Yeah, it's got the gearbox now, this tricky uphill turn 9.
Carlton got that.
Did you remember when traction control first came to BSB, and I remember watching Leon Haslam's right arm. He opened it up before he got... Sorry for the random explanation there, but that's how electron...
Mir's 3/4 of the way around now. Just got this straight to go now. Get it stopped.
Yeah, that's
which
where
is
the
easier
Honda,
said than done.
That's where the Honda... Doesn't look like he's upset him too much though. On the fat bit. Box next time around for him. Full second off of yesterday's Quartararo time though. Aleix Espargaro hovers just outside on a 59-second advantage over Aleix Espargaro. This is going to be in their second run. It's going to be proper hectic round here. 3. He's going to have another go at it. He'll probably come to the box and change tyres at the end of this lap. Beginning to look his age. I know that's not meant as an insult. I'm sure it will be, but he's just looking so much more serious.
He's only about, I think he's about 46 years old, so he's not that old. Just a young,
but considerably younger than me.
Everyone's younger than you, Pete.
That's true. That's a lie. Outside, it's very, very close, and it's all going to be down to... This is going to be a good old grit you take Q2. You might not make it with your number 1 bike, because if you throw it at the scenery trying to go through...
Absolutely. Already gone. Mir's not safe. Petrucci's... You're not safe there, are you? You've got a 10th over Crutchlow, so you know he's going to... That'll give them hope. You don't want to give the Espargaro brothers hope.
You really don't. Actually, I'm quite looking forward to it now.
It's going to be a good last sort of 6 minutes.
It's going to be a last 6 minutes of Petrucci, who's just about a 10th over Cal Crutchlow, who's just about 2/10 over Aleix Espargaro. Here, there's a lot of places where you can make up time or lose time, whatever the drama might be.
Joan Mir's crew chief, Frankie Carcelli, the other night, and honestly, he could not say enough good things about
commentary that go back to Moto3. The same crew chiefs were saying the same thing about him then, that he's...
A steep learning curve in your rookie season to be right up the sharp end in that first year. We know this is at the Yamaha, but he has worked really well this year, and he's going to be pretty special. It's going to be interesting to see.
Again, we're very lucky in MotoGP, aren't we? Because every winter we say the same thing. It's going to be interesting to see at the end of the year, which is a completely new motorcycle. Now, we've never heard those ones.
No.
They're brilliant. completely new motorcycle.
No. Well, we've heard it that Aprilia are potentially going to bring
we're going to bring an upgrade that's going to be fast and everything. Yeah, Mir is someone you could watch on his own, isn't he?
Yeah.
That seems to be, that is a very compliant motorcycle that you can ride sideways and it's driving forward. Petrucci's got a medium front, soft rear, Crutchlow likewise, Aleix Espargaro likewise, Pol Espargaro, it will trim out. So, Mika Kallio, he must have thought when he came into this he would perhaps be somewhere thereabouts, but it is a
little bit better, but the problem is
it's moved on.
It really has.
You know he's putting it all on the line, he's trying as hard as he can, but it is not working out for Javi Shireen.
Do you know when you see the effort he's putting in and with the shape the bike's pulling and how on the edge he is, he's in him
through in that Moto 2 qualifying session. Were you able to see that?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Hopping and skipping, it's not fun to ride. Just off, aren't they? Like I said, well,
over the winter. Suzuki. All they were lacking for the test. Yeah, standing there looking at it and drooling over the thing. It just looked beautiful. Well, you remember how he's riding the Yamaha that's lacking in horsepower, and Suzuki are pretty much the better of most of the Yamahas now.
Currently sat in second place, but like I said, he's going to have to go quicker if he wants to go through.
3:29 Suzuki. So that's the kind of difference between Ducati and Suzuki at the moment. Pol Espargaro comes into focus. A minute and 3/4 left to go of this qualifying one. Who will be the... Needs to make it better though, I believe. Petrucci might go top briefly. But now it's going to be... See how it comes. He's coming to the line. Now.
He's on an outlap. Oh, yeah, he is. So he's going to get one go to Cal.
Go. Jorge Lorenzo soldiers on the round for 8th place in this session, but we're in all you get as a consolation prize if you're not the top two.
Petrucci's had an incredible first split.
Second, sorry. Might just put him out of trouble here. Do you know what? Cal Crutchlow can get one go. Just. Horsepower. Pol Espargaro goes fourth. Checker flag is out then.
Cal's up in the first.
Down into the final corner. Oh, look at the way that thing to stay on top. 59.5 it was for Joan Mir. Aims for the line now. Checker flag's out. 50. Aleix Espargaro. Red lights on. Is it going to be a Honda or is it going to be an Aprilia? Aleix Espargaro's red sectors turn into orange ones as just personal bests. Rather with Cal as well. Here comes Aleix. He'll be the first to the line then. Aleix Espargaro puts the grid only. Cal Crutchlow, can he force Mir out? It's so tight.
Yeah. Normally the Honda is
enough. Yes! Cal Crutchlow goes through at the death of qualifying. You expect from Cal Crutchlow.
And that was a good last sector.
It really was.
Impressive.
The Honda's far. Now, Petrucci, he had to do that lap, didn't he?
Yeah, there was always going to be someone really unhappy.
Yeah. 2.120 of a second faster than Danilo Petrucci. And go in the background there. He's got one man up in qualifying two. He'd have much preferred two. Partial times.
You know what it's like around here? It's a long gold race. Obviously, you've got the heat.
It's quite cool out there.
Yeah, very cool for here.
It really is.
So, yeah, I'm thinking we'll have a cracking result.
Cal Crutchlow does it, gets himself through into qualifying two. What can he do?
Going through, and Danilo Petrucci as well. But what an expensive session that is if you don't make it.
So much at stake whenever you're hanging it out there on the last few laps. The boys all put it on the line, close there at the top of the order.
Yeah, they really were. You do miss out hugely, don't you? But nerves of steel from the man we're looking at there, Cal.
Yeah, definitely. We know Cal's on form after that podium last time out in Australia. Looking good this weekend. After having that experience in Q1, then he sets himself up good for the race tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly that. In terms of
rain's disappeared, which is good. The temperatures dropped ever so slightly, so we could see those super fast 50. The Petronas Yamaha guys, they'll be targeting a low 58. Maverick Vinales as well, so I think Cal's
Fabio Quartararo when we talk about Petronas, but also looking at Frankie, who's been coming good over the last few rounds.
5 and 58.7 respectively. It's so impressive around this track at this time of the year. We previously have Petronas boys, they're on fire.
So those are your two riders going through to Q2 then. Cal Crutchlow winning that session. How the camp is feeling. Gav is with Davide.
Yeah, Davide, Danilo making low recently.
Yeah, since yesterday he's struggling a lot with the brakes. It seems that he was losing a lot even in the entrance of corner 1 and last one. It seems that he's a bit better.
What about Dovi now going through? We know he's a previous winner here. He's been challenged the Yamahas and Mark.
I think that we have the race pace. The main is, like it been in the past, but if he's there in the first laps, on the podium.
In a lot of the recent races, Davide, there's been a big tyre choice that's proved crucial choices and what you've got available.
In the end, we are quite happy with, but I think that many riders will risk with the soft on the back. And we race in a very good way, but
qualified. Thank you.
Thank you.
Davide Todozzi being slight. Sepang International Circuit just ahead of Q2. A little cloudy, quite humid. Track temperature down to 36 degrees. We have seen it up to 50. So like we were discussing, the tyres and certainly Dovizioso, Andrea said at the last race that his was kind of gone midpoint.
Him throughout practice, but Dovi, I know Davide didn't want to give it away there, but I looked at his run in FP2 and on lap depends on the temperature tomorrow. So if the air temperature creeps up, he may have to go for that medium. But interestingly, Alice Espargaro going to be quite an even split. Some guys working on the medium and others on the soft.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because traditionally
it's where the guys have to go to work. So the technicians spend a lot of time analysing the data. They look at the surface temperature of a lot of feedback, a lot of direction to try and help them make the right choice on Sunday. It's tough. It doesn't just boil down to the red. Pacey had an FP4 and topping the timesheets for a bit there. It looks like he's got some speed. First weekend he could have the pace to stay with that lead group all the way through.
Here's an interesting story. Johan Zarco straight through to...
Yeah, so impressive this morning and unexpected, to be quite honest. I didn't see him stepping into the fantastic result.
Yeah, that'll be extraordinary. He said pre-race as well, pre-weekend, he'd like to finish in the top 10.
Off the ambitions, when you look at the pace the Ducati guys, the Yamaha guys, the Suzuki guys have got this weekend, all factory backed as well.
And he's saying all the right things in front of the Honda bosses, that's for sure. What can he do in this session as we head to...
It's qualifying 2, the main qualifying session of the week so far. The Shell Malaysia Motorcycle Grand Prix, round 18 of the MotoGP series. And we host of Yamahas that are going quick at the moment. Will Dovi give us a surprise? He's been there or thereabouts right from FP1 through free practice. Mark Marquez only third for him. We've seen it before though, and he can Morbidelli down pit lane. If the doctor manages to bring something like a front row out of this, I will be amazed. Here, Maverick Vinales as he rolls down at 60 kilometres an hour down the front of pit lane. I'm going to go. Crucial for careers, for manufacturer, a sellout tomorrow. John McPhee has already won for the Petronas Sepang International Circuit. You've already heard Neil Hodgson espouse.
Knew this was going to happen. Marquez has not got the pace this weekend, Keith. We've seen him do this in the past. He's going to try and get...
Of 2019, the slightly more annoying Mark Marquez of 2019, if I might be so bold. Really like. You remember the stickers that people have put on the back of seats and the like to worn off.
They're going to try and use Cal as someone to aim at, I'm guessing.
Which is fine. They're HRC, both back to the track. There he is, pulling out of it, as it turns out. That turns 1. 6 degrees. It's the coolest the track temperature has been.
Yeah, best conditions, really. If you're doing a fast lap time
this
now.
Is fast lap time.
Obviously, he started with trying to get a toe. Now he's forgetting about that because he's going to have to keep his head down on this lap.
Stunning. If we do, no one will get near it.
Whoever does the 57 deserves pole. We have never now in pre-season testing.
58.2, I think, is the fastest
ever two-wheel lap in a pre-season.
Born in at a stick, put a softer tyre in it, perhaps, and gone out and done a time attack.
Yeah. So that no one's going to want to show him round. This has been the man who's been the fastest round because he's waiting for him to come past. Watch him, he'll just sneak in behind him. You can do that.
Yeah, there's nothing against it, that's for sure.
Because if it is, Fabio will know that. He won't mind towing Mark down into the last corner.
No, and then he'll roll out.
Well, no. All he'll do if he's smart, he'll roll out of it after he tips into turn 1. That's what you do when someone's towing you. You think, all right, no problem. I've just done a good lap. Go into turn 1 on the racing line and then I'm back out of it.
just to block Mark
Exactly,
from having
exactly.
a good lap. Nobody following him, and he's got nothing to worry about, so watch out for Franco Morbidelli. Goes second, Quartararo.
Whilst all the kids are playing games.
Yeah, out goes the doctor. Look at the aero, he's got over the top of that. That
Was wrong. Quartararo is continuing, right? He's gone through the first split, 0.3 up. What he's doing is trying to a 57 looks like.
just like Marc Marquez would have done in the past. Look at that aero cowl over the front of the...
the first time they tried it was when he came out with all the new parts,
is
remember?
that exactly the same? It looks even more.
Look.
Minutes left.
But I'm
Quartararo
demoralising this, because Marquez normally when he gets a toe will cling on,
by the
won't he?
extra is 4 thousandths under, now 12 thousandths under Marc Marquez. So Marquez is slowly but surely 10ths under. We come down the back straight then. Fabio Quartararo, will he be able to keep it all in line as we get to that kicker? He does, he gets it pulled up. What does that do with Jack Miller? Puts him top, 59.1. It won't be for long though, because here comes Quartararo. 50 racetrack done by Fabio Quartararo. Now Quartararo will get out of it. It was following Marquez.
Yeah, that
so
worked out well.
used Marquez. Morbidelli sticks it alongside his teammate on the front. Sponsored by Petronas. This is their home track. This is where the team Yamaha's. Vignales go top. Wow, that is a time.
He made some time up there, Keith. He was down by about a tenth.
10th off the all-time circuit record set yesterday by Fabio Quartararo. Exactly.
I'll guarantee there'll be some faster lap times coming in run number 2.
You're so right. Wow.
They're coming into the pits now. It's coming.
Hold his seat as he's riding down pit lane.
Can't do that anymore.
Who else? Crutchlow, Marquez, Miller. Valentino getting shuffled back to 7th. Petrucci who came is in 11th, whereas Echo Bagnaia
Into the pits they go.
Crutchlow making completion of his first 15 minutes out there. Track conditions change hour by hour, obviously, depending on the weather. Now, the next part of this final qualifying session of our day here on BT Sport, 30 AM, and then the Malaysian MotoGP race will be live at 6. That'll be something that you can watch this and catch up.
This is, I think, the one where it really kicks out. That's where the electronics kick in.
There's a rumble of thunder in the paddock. Razlan Razali, of course, committed to MotoGP now. Formula One no longer here. This region, this track, this mass motorcycle is a big deal down in Southeast Asia, obviously. Wise. Fabio Quartararo, just Marquez trying to catch Marquez out maybe down in pit lane. He hasn't been able to. Marquez quite...
If he allows him to follow him around completely...
Well, in the front row, and he's going to be staying there. Marquez only 5th, middle of the second row. Marquez is going to ride round a bit. And this man meanwhile, this guy's going to go
your pole
even
position
faster.
man number 12. Yeah, look.
Third row. I think he's a little bit better than that, Rossi, you know. It'll be interesting to see if the doctor can pull something out the bag for the second row. I didn't think... Medium front, soft rear as the telemetry catches up with the riders out there. Johan Stigger. The time, I know the temperature won't be going much out of their tyres because it is warm. The ambient is only 27. Track temperature is higher than ambient at the moment.
Everyone's waiting around. Look, that's Bagnaia, I think, at the side of...
Here we go again. These two winding themselves up for it.
Literally winding themselves up as well.
Hole here, I would suggest. I think he's not at this point he's not going to care. Marquez behind him. And the Sepang International Circuit team, and I can't see him even with the intimidation of Marquez. And he's allowed now Petrucci to come by, so Petrucci on the brakes. This is going to be interesting. So Marquez off up now. We'll get another lap at it. Oh,
it's big! That's a massive crash!
Ouch! Marc Marquez has smacked his face on the ground in the biggest possible way. Has he got any teeth left after that? Like that.
Completely, but you cannot ride round it walking pace for a full lap. You said it.
He had the warning coming onto the straight, and that off camber, he smacked his hands, he smacked his face. Looking round, LD had gone. He will now go round to try and restart his lap. But that, you cannot... I don't know.
It's going to be horrible. He tips in close throttle, the rear comes straight round. And that could be a broken wrist or cold.
There's no airbag. There's no airbag in front of you.
What a great shot adds, the super... Like you could...
Slaps his feet down. 1, 2, then his knees. I wouldn't be so sure of that. They always look as if they're going to be all right in slow-mo. That's my problem. Turn 2.
Meanwhile, Frankie Morbidelli, there's been no tomfoolery, he's just focused on doing the...
8-4, there's never been a time like that on a MotoGP bike, on any motorbike around this racetrack in testing, but they are different conditions.
He's dazed.
He really is. I'll tell you what, they're going to shine a light in his eyes. Out to get concussion. 58-4 it was, Morbidelli. Viñales, 58-4. Quattararo's on one. Quattararo is on one, it ain't done yet. Cal Crutchlow is on the second row of the grid. Rossi, wow, what a closing session this is going to be. Here's Dovizioso, he's on a personal best, but he's down into his on form. Pole position, can he steal it from the factory Yamaha? Here's Dovi, fourth row, where's he go? Oh, pinches it to the second row, that'll do. Dovi does it. Can Miller move Marquez back another place? There's Cal Crutchlow in the background, working like mad.
At this
if he
rate,
makes it, so will...
Unbelievable.
Look at this, 0.336. Yamaha. Oh, it is neat. Oh, it is very, very neat at the end of the lap. This is the hairpin turn 15. Oh, what's up? Quattararo, pole position. Yes, 58.3 from Quattararo. He knows it. He wanted man sandwiched in between the Sepang International Circuit bikes. Great stuff. Miller came through to fourth place. Zarco, Marquez has been pushed back to row 4. Rins Petrucci Zarco on row 3. Man in the championship from the new world champion Marc Marquez, and Pecco Bagnaia back on row 4.
That had a bit of everything, and look what it means to old El Diablo. And do you know what? There's the Fox, and he knows the Fox went down because he was looking exactly where he crashed.
Yeah, he did. There's not a man in this paddock, whatever tactics, whatever way you might think, will think it was huge.
Out the back door. The slow off the throttle high sides are the worst.
Warning, but he knew, and that's the thing about qualifying, isn't it? You've got to ignore it.
Yeah.
You've pretty much got to ignore
limit.
Well, Quattararo was in deep.
Yeah, and that dragged him in a little bit, and then obviously tipped into turn 2, close what them.
So
this kicking right,
just a little bit.
Well, he's look at some grip. Yeah. He'll carry some corner speed,
and he uses it all.
Here we go again. From the inside. Let's see.
Literally, when you slap your toes down like that as well, no chance, no chance. Cold tyre, didn't even.
Something's broken.
Wow. Wouldn't be surprised to hear it though, would you?
No.
With that kind of clatter. And the ant can't run that fast. No. He is dazed. Walking back to the back of the garages. That man holds on to every emotion, every injury. He never wants to show weakness. And then once
like
when you go
one
back,
of them,
we've all been there at some stage. Final qualifying, the pole man Fabio Quattararo, while Marc Marquez.
What a session, Michael. Wasn't that something extraordinary? And all Yamaha, just how much it meant to Fabio Quattararo for Wade.
There was so many things going on there. Slight once, then actually give up that first lap, but then put it all on the line in the last lap. Fantastic performance.
It really was terrific from Frankie today.
Frankie's been superb all weekend, and actually unfortunate not to be fighting for that pole position. The guys can't respond after what happened with Fabio, but it's front row of the grid for Franco. He'll be happy with that. Good race pace.
Yeah, good race.
Actually on the medium tyre, set a really stunningly fast lap time on that medium tyre, then put the soft in. At this point, just jumps the pole position, steals that pole off Franco Morbidelli, but there was more to come.
Yeah, there certainly was Marc Marquez, but this pole position, sensational work.
It really was. He actually go ever so slightly here, that outside foot moves, and that gives away like 1-2 tenths. Another pole position, 5th of the season for Fabio Quattararo. He is just imperious, unbelievable.
Drama, high adrenaline, and really to keep his concentration after what had been going on throughout the session.
He would get so frustrated where every time Fabio tried to slow down to get his own place on track, Marc wouldn't pass him, but he done temperature in the tyre. That cost Fabio that first lap, but he settled himself, put it all on the line, and then delivered.
Yeah, horrible crash that he suffered after this break.